Hey YouTube, DanRange45 here. Wanted to do a brief video and just touch on a subject that probably some of you are really involved in, maybe some of you not so much. Me not so much, but I had a little incident come up recently that made me think about it. Gun trading. Now I've got some friends who live to trade, and they are much more interested in making deals than they are in actually shooting the firearms. It becomes obvious to me. There was one close friend that I've got that every time I talk to him, he's been through probably 10 guns back and forth. So, if that's your thing, then that's great, and he's become good at it. He makes money on every trade, he seems to. I don't know how he's able to pull that off, but been lucky that way, or just shrewd. But you got to really think about that, and my advice to you, if you're going to do some gun deals, is never make a spur-of-the-moment trade. Always at least sleep on it, do your homework, and only believe a small part of what people tell you, unless of course you know them real well. But things can happen, and that's the incident I want to tell you about. Ran into this guy, and I've got this little SIG 1911 22 that I've been playing with, and I really enjoy it. But the story of how I came to purchase this particular gun is kind of an interesting one. Met this guy it was at one of the advanced NRA instructor courses that I've been involved in lately, and I really hadn't seen this before. It was new out on the market. I hadn't come in contact with this particular gun. Well, he just so happened he had one out at the range, and on that particular day we had a lot of different guns out there, and I had my Smith 625 45 ACP. I mean, this is a full comp gun. It's been worked over extensively by a very high level gunsmith. This is the smoothest action handgun I own. It's dead nuts accurate. It's a competition gun. It's set up strictly for competition, and it just shoots better than I do. But I mean, no matter how good you are, I don't think that you can outshoot this gun. It's just a tremendous gun. I got about $1,000 in this particular revolver. So I had that out there, and we were swapping guns around, as people often do in cases like that. It's fun, you shoot other people's guns and you get to see more. Get an idea of what other people have got and what's out there on the market without having to actually invest your money. Well, he really took a shine to my 625, and rightfully so. I had some of my target reloads that I put in there for him, and he was just punching out the 10 ring with it. And of course I was shooting his little 22, his 1911 22. And I thought, what a sweet shooting little gun. Well, he saw that I was taking a fancy to it, so he started his story. Well, those are really hard to get. I had to look for that thing for a long time. I got over $800 invested in it, blah, blah, blah. And of course, he was setting me up for the punchline, because he said, after we'd been out there for a while, he said, hey, I'll tell you what, I'll just swap you even for that Smith today. And for about a millisecond, something went through my head. Man, what a nice looking and sweet shooting little 22. His was black. It wasn't the flat dark earth, but I really liked that gun, and it just flashed through my head real quick. Is this a deal? But it took only about that millisecond for common sense to set in, and I just said, no, that's not going to happen. Well, of course, as soon as I got back home, checked the internet, my gun's worth more than double his. I wound up picking this one up brand new for right at $400, and so obviously that would have been a very, very, very bad trade on my part. But based on the fact that I usually do my homework and never do anything spur of the moment, no matter what it is, whether it's buying a car or a house or any firearm, it's unlikely I would have fallen into that trap. But it just showed me that it happens. you know, people will try to, they'll push the envelope. If they can get you to go on with something, then they're going to do it. So just be cautious of that. If somebody offers you a deal, talk to somebody else, do a little research. Don't make any spur-of-the-moment deals, because you'll end up regretting it if you do, okay? Probably telling a lot of you something you've already known. Maybe some of you learned it the hard way. I've been lucky. I have never gotten burned on a deal like that before, but it's only because of this very thing. I pay attention, I try to do my homework, and I don't make any quick decisions, particularly not on something that's as important to me as a firearm. Now, the upside of it is, he got me interested in these pistols. I went right out, like the next week, bought one. I'm loving it, and I'm really happy that it's part of the collection now. So had he not kind of pushed that issue a little bit, put that in my hands, I wouldn't be sitting here holding this one today. So I gained something from the experience, but it just goes to show you, and he was a nice guy. You know, I mean, I'd go fishing with him or, you know, hang out with him any day of the week, but if they can get one up on you, they'll still take you out and show you a good time, and never think twice about it. Okay, just a little word on gun trading. Like it if you like it. Please subscribe. Downrange 45 signing off.